Hi everyone, welcome to the Paideiac Self podcast. I'm your host Ken, and today I'll be giving you an overview of what to expect with this podcast. To start off, I'm going to explain what led to me creating this podcast in the first place. Many years ago, while I was in elementary school, I was diagnosed with the learning disability autism, which affects my ability to handle social interactions well as experience challenges such as sensory overload, which is when the brain gets overwhelmed with a lot of visual, auditory, and mental stimuli that it can temporarily shut down or even trigger some distress. Despite having a learning disability, as well as my experiences growing up in a family of Vietnamese war refugees, I was determined to believe that no matter what obstacles I faced, I could find meaning and purpose in my own life, prompting me to ask and explore all kinds of questions about how to grow into a mature, responsible, and loving adult. I joined my high school's Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, this military leadership program in school. I also went to college, where I got my bachelor's degree from San Jose State University in 2020. And now I'm currently about to finish my master's degree from California State University, East Bay, this year in 2023. So along the way, I've had all kinds of experiences, not just with work and school, but also with friendships and volunteer experience in the nonprofit and public sector that got me to not only experience life, but also get to know myself better. Yet with all of these experiences, I still wondered about how to actually navigate adulthood and all of its associated challenges. It's not something that you learn in school or you always get taught directly from your peers, your teachers, your parents, and so on. It's more of a experience that you have to go through and make sense of and figure out on your own, which is what I'm still trying to figure out to this day. And that is where this podcast comes in, where it's pretty much a personal journal, as well as a series of conversations with myself and potentially other guests to really explore these themes of growing up and navigating adulthood, and by and large, being human through personal stories from my own life, as well as more philosophical explorations based on what I've read, experienced, and learned from along the way. So if you're interested in hearing more about these topics, be sure to like and subscribe to the Paideiac Self podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and wherever podcasts exist. To follow up with me further, you can also check out my link tree attached to the podcast description, wherever you access the podcast, where through this link tree, you'll get links to my Instagram account and my medium.com writings, which are all under the handle at the Paideiac Self, which is spelled ThePaideiacSelf, the Paideiac Self. So on that note, thank you all for listening, and I hope you all stay tuned for more from the Paideiac Self podcast.